Hi, I want to start by giving you 6 tips to unlock your child's genius. The first tip, I'm going to start with a G, giftedness. God has given each and every one of us unique gifts, but the dyslexic child has hidden gifts. They're either unidentified or hidden as a result of low self-esteem. Dyslexic kids are born to stand out. They shouldn't be forced to fit in. So no matter what percent of jobs require literacy skills, we need to teach our kids to read so that we can build their self-esteem and help them graduate from high school. Because it's life, it's not only jobs that require critical thinking, oral skills, and comprehension. I remember a coworker who didn't understand this is due tomorrow is different from due tomorrow. And it got her in a lot of trouble. And I remember when I taught middle school, kids were getting confused in the same way. What really baffled me was when dyslexic kids wouldn't turn their work in. Thankfully, when there's collaboration between parents and teachers who could check on the student's progress, why did a B drop to an F? Why did a C drop to a D? Because the kids forgot to turn their work in. And I would have peers stick up for them and say, I saw them do their work. So they look in the backpack and they find the papers all crumpled in the bottom of the backpack. The assignment was done, but the student didn't turn it in. And a couple times, students would hide their work in the cupboard, and the mother would open up the cupboard and the papers would fall out. And the student didn't give any explanation. And the parent doesn't understand, why doesn't the student turn the homework in? So I want to let you know, dyslexia is neurological in origin, so the brain can be retrained. And it's not so much a learning disability as a learning difference. And it's recognized by the student's inability to read, write, and often speak correctly. So a dyslexic child won't volunteer to raise his hand. And when he's called upon to speak, that dyslexic child often experiences anxiety and wants to leave the room and go to the bathroom. I've had a child tell me this. When their children help them, when the teacher helps them read in front of the other students, they feel humiliated. And so that's why these kids need one-on-one intervention, and they need a multisensory reading program that's going to use all their senses. So Ondon is a 4th grader that we tutor, and now he raises his hand to read. And his mom says he's not anxious when he's called on. And Ondon enjoys reading books. So another telltale sign of dyslexia is that the kids will glance and guess at the words because they haven't been taught to sound them out. So while they'll get the first part of the word correct, they won't get the second part of the word correctly. And it really messes up comprehension. You can understand why. So they'll often memorize words, which means they're not going to be able to sound out non-familiar words, or we call them nonsense words. When kids are memorizing words, instead of going to the language center on the left side, it's going to their brain as a picture, and it's going to the right side of the brain. And that made a lot of sense to me when I started learning. When they look at a word like a picture, it's going to that creative side of their brain, the right side. So I see this in middle school and high school, where I'll assess kids for dyslexia, and they'll be able to even write words that they've memorized, but their comprehension is so low because their brain isn't cooperating with comprehension. And I know a genius man who was put in the very lowest reading group when he was in 3rd grade. Well, he was in the low reading group and he went to the lower reading group. And then he was moved to even the lowest reading group. And his self-esteem took such a beating until someone had the bright idea. Let's give him this test. And oh my gosh, He shot up to the top of the list in this other class, which was the gifted class. Someone decided to give him that special test, someone who cared. So this is one of the steps of unlocking the giftedness or the genius of the dyslexic child. Stay tuned for step 2. Bye-bye now.